Well, the difference is the person who comes in scared likely leaves once they're not. Right? So the person who comes in because they're afraid is going to leave when they're no longer feeling that fear because they signed up to get out of fear. The person who signs up in fear, in order to keep them as a client, needs to remain scared. We are not in the business of keeping our clients scared. We are in the business of making sure that our clients know that we're going to move them from whatever need they feel they have to all of the want in the world. It's, you don't need us anymore. You never did, but you want us. And that's what we are looking for. At Active Life, we believe that the healthcare clinic of the future is the gym.
Everybody starts with the best case scenario in mind.
Never sell anything to anybody who is not in the market for what you have.
The only reason we work out is to create the opportunity to recover.
And the healthcare provider of the future is the coach.
And this is why you guys need to get paid well, because what you're doing is really, really hard work.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Turning Pro on the Active Life podcast. I'm Larry Gaier, and I am grateful to be joined today by Dr. Sean Pastuch.
What's up, guys?
I want to talk to you today about, in my opinion, one of the most important topics that can be discussed, period, especially in this context. It is one of the most fascinating things that I could possibly think about, and it is the following. Are you buying because you are afraid, or are you buying because you are confident? By the same token, are you not buying because you are afraid, or are you not buying because you're confident? That is not a good buy. Are you making a decision that is about, I need to do this or not do this, or else this horrible thing is going to happen? Or are you making a decision that sounds more like, it would be amazing if I stepped into this and I'm excited to do it?
Yeah.
Is this as important to you as it is to me?
Yeah, I think you nailed it. You know, right now is one of those times where I think there's a lot of opportunity, and we've been talking about that opportunity for people to take it and grow their business and to reshape what they actually want to be and reshape what they actually want to stand for and reshape how they actually want to serve people and talk to people. And everybody has the same opportunities. Unfortunately, I also see people in the marketplace, in all marketplaces, from the mortgage markets, right, to the food markets, to the fitness business markets, where they're talking about, are you going to make it through this? It's only going to get worse. Are you going to make it through this?
So to be clear, this is a fear-based construct that
yes, they're talking about fear. They're talking about, is your gym, let's stay in fitness now because we're a fitness podcast. Is your gym going to make it through this? Are you going to be able to keep your clients as this goes on? Instead of talking about, what are you doing to make your gym better during this time? What are you doing to add new clients to your gym at this time? They both are the same question. They're just asked from different sides of the message. One of them is, you're going to die without me. The other one is, you could be great with me. And I feel like it's bullying when anybody talks about, you're going to die without me. And now, we've had conversations, you and I've had conversations with Super Cleary, who does our content creation. And I've had conversations with our other partner, Kaylin, who does all of our ad placements and things like that. And we all came to the agreement that under no circumstances, no matter how bad this gets, will we ever run anything negative. We will never run anything fear-based. Everything that we talk about will be the opportunity in front of people. And the reason for that is, I don't want a scared buyer. I don't want somebody coming in who's a scared buyer. And we've talked also, I apologize for going on. We've talked also about the idea that everyone in the world has energy. I talked about this with Aaron Hine. Everyone has energy. And it is incumbent upon us to put out positive energy so that there can be some calm in the world. If we incite fear and panic, we're no better than anybody inciting fear and panic.
Okay, I got to stop you there because this is a gem, and I want to unpack this so people can understand that, because I don't want that to sound woo-woo. I want people to understand, to you right now, what does that mean? How is that affecting your life and everyone in your life right now? Can you unpack, please, two things for me, and for all of us? The first is, why do people use fear-based systems, and why is it so effective? The second is, can you describe for us the difference both in short and long-term results, not only on the things that people produce, but on the ways that people can develop themselves on making fear-based decisions versus confidence-based decisions? So the first one, why do people use fear-based tactics? Because
they work. Because it's a really quick way to get people to buy something from you. You're going to die. Like, think about yourself in the situation in the hospital. Right? I mean, right now, think about it. If the nurse came and said, hey, we can save your dad, but he needs a respirator and it's going to cost you $20,000. Guaranteed he lives if you get a respirator. You're like, all right, yeah, whatever. I'll find $20,000. Do I have it? No, I'll find it. Put him on it. That's obvious to people. You know, it used to be, you need heart surgery. It's $50,000. Are you down? Yes, I'm down. Do it. I need to survive, right? It's so easy to get people to buy something and give you money when you make it seem as though you're their only resource to survive. So it's easy. It's cheap. It's punk. It's bullshit.
So what we're doing is you're taking a cheap jab right at the deepest seated human fear, which is of death.
100%. It's like gaslighting. Only you don't know your client yet. You know, it's the situation of, without me, you won't make it. And it would be your fault if you didn't make it because you didn't sign up with me and I could have helped you. And to me, that's the scummiest of the scum. So
I see why you use the word bullying there. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. And the opposite of that, and every business has the opportunity to do this. The opposite of that is, hey, you're going to make it and we can help you be great. Now, it's harder to do that because if we look at the world as it is right now, everybody on some level fundamentally agrees that if you work hard, you work consistently, you work smart, you can make a name for yourself. There are varying levels to how much of that people believe, but everybody believes in some way, shape, or form that our ceiling is dictated by the amount of work that we're willing to do. Now, I understand there are levels. Who do you know? What network are you in? What family were you born into? All that kind of stuff. What color is your skin? What's your gender? I get that those things set other potential unfair and yet real and necessary to change ceilings. That said, not everybody reaches their ceiling. And I think that it's clear and understood and agreed upon that whether or not we reach our own ceiling is largely dependent on how hard we work. And yet people don't always work hard. It's not important enough to them to reach their own ceiling. So for you to have a message of, we can help you be great, it's going to be really, really hard. You're going to have to commit to this. You're going to have to spend time. There is no quick fix. You're going to have to nurture. You're going to become a great coach. You're going to have to learn to believe differently. That's a hard sell. But you're going to die without me. That's fucking easy.
Yeah, what's fascinating about that is that it doesn't take a lot of energy from someone to run away from death, but it takes an extraordinary amount of energy, and it takes fundamental, like deep in your DNA change to decide to put in a ton of energy to move towards something you want to be.
I'll give you a physiology example of this. It requires more energy to reduce your heart rate, more caloric expenditure to reduce your heart rate than it takes to elevate your heart rate. Because elevating your heart rate is life and death. It's fight or flight.
Your body's made it easy for it to
Yes,
happen,
your body's
right?
like, whoa, get some blood to the muscles. Let's get the fuck out of here. But bringing your heart rate back down, it's like, wait, are we sure the coast is clear? Look around. Everything is good. We're not under stress anymore. Okay. We can calm down. Okay. That's a hard thing to do. So we're looking for the people, you know, because we had this discussion between me and you, between me and Cleary, who does our media, between me and Kalen, who does our ads. And we agreed under absolutely no circumstances will we sell with negativity. We will not lead with fear. We will not make people decide between survival and not based on whether they work with us or not, because we believe that A, that's not true. They have opportunities with or without us. B, we don't want people coming in a scared state, because coming in a scared state will dictate the short-term and the long-term outcomes of what we're able to do with them. And as much as we want to be able to help people who right now are afraid, we want to help those people make pragmatic buying decisions through logic, as opposed to preying on their negative emotion of fear and insecurity and self-doubt and say, yeah, you should be scared. I can help you. Buy now. Here's the life raft. I'll keep you alive. Because that person's not thinking about transcending the business as it currently exists. They're just thinking about keeping their head above water. And that's not what we're about.
That's a huge difference.
Yes.
That's a huge difference. You mentioned that you don't want people who are afraid. And what I would love to know is...
I want to interrupt that. I do want people who are afraid. I just want them coming in knowing that they don't have to be afraid.
Got you.
I don't want to amplify their fear and spike their urgency to act illogically.
So you want to be able to kind of dissipate their fear and have them make better decisions. You don't want to use their fear.
Exactly.
Got it. Thank you for that. So let me ask you, why is it so imperative that that we don't work with people who are making fear-based decisions? Or what happens to the individual if they live their life making fear-based decisions versus if they make confidence-based decisions, right?
Yeah. Well, so what you're describing is, what's the difference between the person who acts out of fear and the person who acts out of confidence?
Yes.
And I want you guys to put yourself in a high-stress situation, just momentarily in your brain. Think about a really high-stress situation, not the one that we're living in right now, that is coronavirus, right? Think about, I don't know, you're in an airplane and it starts to get really scary. Big bumps, pilots like, throw your seatbelt on. We need to make an emergency landing. Right? Okay. Now, somebody on that plane is going to be calm, and somebody on that plane is going to be crazy. This is going to happen. I want you to think about the person on that plane who's going crazy, who's like, oh my God, are we going to die? Is this bad? Is it over? Like yelling for the flight attendant, bang, 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 pushing the fucking, please help me button on top of the ceiling. Is that person helping you calm down? Is that person helping you find a rational thought for how you need to act in the moment? Is that person making it better or worse for anybody on that flight?
Including themselves,
to alert the world that they are nervous.
No, zero.
No, they're making it worse. The person who's calm, who stands up, who maybe walks over to that person and says, hey, I get it. You're nervous. Okay. What do we need to do right now? What do we need to do? We can handle this. That person, immediately, you're like, whoa, that person's pretty calm. Maybe it's not as bad as I thought it was. And that's who we aim to be. And the other one, what I've come to understand, having the unfortunate or fortunate right now, depending on how you look at it, unique experience of having gone through Hurricane Sandy. And I'm sure that you can relate to this as well, having gone through it. What I believe is going on right now is people who are doomsdaying, people who are telling you that this is it, like your business won't survive without me. You need to do this right now or you're going to die. All of that fucking nonsense. I believe that those people, this is the worst thing they've ever gone through. They can't fathom anything darker than this. They've always had it fairly easy. They started their business after 2008, so there was no recession for them to deal with. The fitness business has been in a boom lately. Everything's been good. I was talking to a good friend of mine the other day who's a great business person, and she wouldn't lead with fear either. And she was like, what happened to the days when I didn't know what to do with all of my demand? Those were her words. And, if this is the darkest that you've ever seen, then yeah, it makes sense for you to not know any better than that it's going to get better. But having been through something like Hurricane Sandy, like you and I went through, and I'm sure many people on this podcast have had something like that in their lives, we understand that it can all go to hell in a split second. And it's going to come back if you're persistent about making sure that it does.
Yeah. There's really one or two outcomes here. We're either going to have a nuclear holocaust and there's nothing left on the other side of this.
And then who cares?
Right. because you don't have anything to worry about if you're dead. The other thing is that we're going to be okay. Now, I'm going to bet on the we're going to be okay for two reasons. One, because there's no reason for me to bet on the nuclear holocaust, because on the other side of that, it doesn't matter. And humans are resilient as fuck, man. This is not unprecedented. For people who have, like you said, for people who have never seen this before, this is a new, intense, really crazy paradigm shifting thing. But humans have been through such crazy shit. And look where we are now. The trend is going upwards. So unless we're literally all eradicated by a nuclear holocaust or a meteor, we're going to be amazing on the other side of this.
So I listened to a really good podcast by Reid Hoffman the other day. Masters of Scale is his show. I listen to it all the time. He's the founder of LinkedIn and one of the original staff members over at PayPal. And what he talked about was the fact that there are two types of businesses in the world right now. Type one is the type of business that is going to go out of business through this no matter what they do. They just don't know it yet, but they are already out of business. They're going to try, and they're going out of business no matter what they do. And then there's the business who doesn't know if they're going to be in business when it's over either. And they're going to try. And because they tried, when this is over, they are going to be monsters. Now, the difference between those two businesses is that the outcome for them is already set. The similarity between the two businesses is that what needs to happen right now is exactly the same. They need to try. Now, if your business is one that is going to die when this thing is all over, what influence do you have anyway? Right? So you might as well be going out fighting. If your business is one that is the potential of thriving after this is over, well, then what are you doing right now if you're not building towards that potential? Do you know the two businesses that thrive in down economies are?
Tell us.
Liquor stores and gym businesses. Liquor stores and fitness.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that. There's I don't want to go down too much of a rabbit hole, but Naomi Klein wrote a book called Shock Doctrine. And I'm not going to get too into it, but the overarching premise of the book, and for any politicians or economists who don't think that I got it right, tell me that I'm an idiot and school me. But in the meantime, the idea is that whenever there is an insane period of chaos, everyone's losing their shit, whether it has been instituted deliberately or it's been like some sort of natural calamity, it is the perfect opportunity for people with a million different agendas to get people doing what they want to be doing. Chaos is the absolute perfect time for a paradigm shift. And so classically, people, all sorts of different leaders and institutions have taken advantage of moments of chaos to get people to latch onto anything that they could. And so you create this moment of chaos, and then you give people the new paradigm that you want them to opt into. Now, the whole premise of this podcast for you guys is that you can be doing this in one of two different ways. Are you looking to make a quick buck by cornering afraid people and squeezing them for all the value that they're worth so that you can eat? Or are you taking this as an opportunity to embolden your vision that you have for humanity, put it on a poster on every single wall in your house, and create an environment that's conducive for people to excitedly step into because you have effectively communicated what the possibility for the future is for them?
Mm-hmm. Well, the difference is the person who comes in scared likely leaves once they're not.
Wow.
Right? So the person who comes in because they're afraid is going to leave when they're no longer feeling that fear because they signed up to get out of fear. The person who signs up in fear, in order to keep them as a client, needs to remain scared. We are not in the business of keeping our clients scared. We are in the business of making sure that our clients know that we're going to move them from whatever need they feel they have to all of the want in the world. It's, you don't need us anymore. You never did, but you want us. And that's what we are looking for. Because to run a business that preys on bringing people in who are afraid. As fundamental as it sounds, it is this simple. In order to keep them as clients, you must keep them afraid. So ask yourself this. If you're a gym, would you feel good about your marketing looking like, hey, are you going to make it to your 65th birthday? It's only going to get worse. Sign up now, start losing weight tomorrow.
Ouch.
That's what it is. It's just that you're not that person, right? You're the gym. Is your business going to be around after this is over? Sign up now and change what your business looks like.
That sucks, man. I hate that.
Right? But so now think about yourself as the gym owner. If you get people coming in for that, what happens when that person loses enough weight? What happens when that person's blood markers look better? What are you going to scare them with? Because otherwise they're like, hey, dude, thanks. Like, I feel great. I'm ready to go. But. It's not about leading people through fear. It's not about leading people with fear. It's about leading people through fear and helping them understand that they have opportunities. And I'm actually, in a sick, twisted way, excited about how much fear-based marketing I'm seeing on my Facebook, my Instagram, my YouTube, everywhere. Because it shows me how different we really are at the base of our pyramid where our beliefs live than everybody I'm seeing trying to acquire clients right now.
Well, because it's showing you it's not about how we're dressed. It's about who we really are.
Yeah. It tells me that we might continue to, grow at a steady pace that we're growing at and not hockey stick and launch off into the sky and be $100 million company tomorrow. But that because we're acting as we are, and because we're acting that way based on what our beliefs are and our habits are and our communication is and our services are, we're going to be around for the long haul. And the clients who come to work with us will speak fondly, will refer friends, will be the people who are the change makers after this is over because they're not afraid.
Well, this is how you build an empire that people aren't afraid of leaving, but are proud to jump into.
Yes. Wear the hat.
Love it.
Turn pro. All right. That's going to be a wrap for this episode of the Active Life Podcast. And guys, remember, if you are looking to enhance your fitness business, if you're sitting there thinking, man, I would love to be able to go on vacations. I would love to be able to take 2 weeks off and not have my business fall apart. And most importantly, if you want to be a part of the movement that we are creating, facilitating, and seeing come to life, which is coaches and gyms becoming the healthcare clinic of the future, helping people who've gotten hurt working out, helping people who've been told they have to work out around that, having people be told they're too old to do that, find new hobbies. If hearing things like that for your clients is frustrating for you and you want to learn the skills to solve those problems and also get paid very well to do it, head to activelifeprofessional.com and let's get talking. Till then, turn pro.